Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, connect, epiphany, online explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description of this video and all my videos. And if you're so interested in the artwork, it's on alleycatcreations211.com. I do have to update my stuff, but patents of paintings, pyramids, drawings, I do commissions. If you're interested in something, please message me via email, or some of you know how to get in touch with me. More than happy to do some artwork for you. There is a little bit of a backlog with drawings. Um, Working out last week was crazy, and now I'm just catching up on life. So reach out to me. There's a little bit of a wait with any piece of artwork. If you want something done, you gotta wait. Um, 3D memberships is another great way to support this channel and myself. Um, you guys get channel member only videos once a week, an hour long for the most part, oracle reading that takes me really 3 hours to do. And I also, when I am able to do them financially, I do raffles. So I want to thank everybody for that help. I love doing raffles. It makes me feel good that I can give back to the people who support me. And it's just really fun. It's a good fun Friday event. My lifeline right now. So today I'm going to do spiritual soul advice, pondering in a sense. Um, Reflecting on some things. I had a crazy day today. Work, and then my cousin called. I have a nut my I have awesome people in the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx, who is not doing too well, and I'm just like sitting there and getting like a lot of boggled down bad news. Not necessarily bad, but stuff that hits here, hits home. One of my best friends from New York, also, she's in Brooklyn. Her kitty, my fur niece, got diagnosed with something. They're going to do a biopsy on it. It isn't looking too good, and a lot of heavy things are going on in the paradigm right now. I mean, last week my life was almost taken by a stray bullet. Like, yes, I'm here and I'm alive and I'm very thankful, but like putting that into perspective, wow, what happens if I was hit? I I know I'm putting on the cat ear puffers to lighten the mood because it's heavy content. What I'm speaking about is very heavy. Each and every one of the people that I know in my personal life are going through very heavy, dense experiences. I know even for myself, spiritually, I was being pulled. I still have this tangled back and forth thing going on, but I'm very much integrated. I'm being initiated. I'm being tested. Tested to like limits I never thought I could even pass, energetically wise, and navigating insanity in the 3D, navigating so much. And I know a lot of us are going through heavy. It's not some like, oh, I stubbed my toe on the corner of the door. This is holy fuck, things are transcending and life is ending, and I'm so stressed out and I'm being pulled in a million directions. What do I do? Kind of stuff. This is happening to so many people out there. And I want to navigate you guys through some things that may or may not help you, but it's just advice, or just take it if you leave it, want it, chicken dinner. Um, because I was on the phone and in Messenger today, half my day, like consoling A, my family, and B, like my friend family and my soul sister. It- and for someone like me, knowing there is no death, it's just transcending, it's just moving into a different frequency and a different state of being. It's kind of hard to convey that to people who kind of grasp the concept, but don't quite absorbed it yet to understand it fully. I feel many people are still there. We're still in the body, we still have experience, we still feel. And the hard part is detaching, understanding the soul contracts, taking the step back to see it, asking, okay, so this is happening to my pet or my whatever, whoever, this event, this thing, it's happening to me. What is the purpose and the why? And most people will go into the escapisms. I don't like to call it that because it's what we blame our circumstances on. I call some stuff for other people is escapism. Escapisms are, well, it's the food and the diet and the 5G and the this and the that and the dot da 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 da. Okay, there are things out of our control. We put them there, but they're not in our control. Meaning, if something is growing inside you, even if you had the cleanest diet, there's a reason for it growing in you. If you were meant to have an illness or something pop up into you, even though you're doing all the right things or not, it doesn't like there are people who smoke cigarettes for their whole lives and never had an inkling of an issue. Things happen for reasons. And you got to like take the step back to see the larger picture. Even for myself, and I use myself as an example, I'm an open book for most people because I want you to see that I could take my own circumstances, take the step back, viewpoint it. Yeah, I feel it. I'm going through it. It sucks. It hurts. It's devastating. But I'm taking that step back. I can detach. I can look at it objectively and go, oh, where do I need to change? Where do I need change? Do I need it in my mindset? Do I need it in my subconscious? Do I need it in my reactions? Do I need it? Do I need to take the step back to see it in different viewpoints? Are you allowing yourself to do that? These are not easy questions to answer and put yourself in the chair as a judge, jury, and executioner of yourself. You're going to eventually do this anyway when you go for your life review. Whether you believe it's a trap, not a trap, does it matter at the end of the day? No. In my estimation, my opinion. The world is very much polarized right now. The FAFO components of society is happening. There is a lot of dense energy in the field being purged out of normal people who are not alchemizing, who are not seeing the big picture, who are not doing the inner work. And this is even spiritual people who, either in ignorance, knowingly or not, are still steering people in directions that they heart align and believe that is going to take place. And they're not being realistic with their own selves. They're not doing the deeper shadow questions. They're not doing the light questions. They're not doing the work. They're just projecting. I know for myself, when I'm going through a very difficult, dense moment, and they happen often, I then look at it as, okay, is this an initiation, meaning, am I walking into my divine mission? Am I being recalibrated for a reason? What is different in my frequency that needs to happen to restructure this world? Because many of us are here to restructure, recode what's been here. We're disrupting the signal. We're disrupting the wavelength, the waveform, the function, the oscillation and the spin of everything around us. We are changing. We're going to have opposition. We're going to have heaviness. But for an ordinary person, per se, my cousin and my other cousin going through it, but both of them are sick. Um, how do you navigate this? It's hard to I noticed for myself it's getting harder to talk to people when it comes to passing overs and deaths and transcensions. The program still runs so thick and so many people. And no, I'm not here to shift anybody. I'm here to help you realize that you are the shift. You need to do it for yourself. Um, I'm still shifting. I'm not there yet. I'm not perfect. I was on Turn the Page with Janine, or uh her she changes the name of her channel a lot, so give me a second. True Lens. Sorry, Janine. TTP. I was on there today. She posed a very interesting question about religion and God. And most people know I am not into religion. I grew up in a system that I defied. I did not want to be in. I did not see eye to eye with its ideologies or the way that it practiced. I also grew up around people who went to church and had a different paradigm from mine. And I was probably more in a church than I was ever in a temple. But I still did not even agree with that ideology because something within me was different. I resonated with something different. And it was a natural world. It was nature. It was spiritual practices, but learning what that actually means. And there's really not a definition that fits in anymore in my paradigm in 3D because it's still very polarized and dualistic here. It's if you're pagan, you're a heathen, you're really bad. You're a Satan worshiper. That's where everybody goes, oh, you're a witch. Oh, you're a black witch. You're an evil person, which we got to stop doing in the first place. Have we not looked at religious history? As much as you think the pagans were bad, and there's many different offshoots of what a pagan is. It's nature. Native Americans are spiritual. They don't have one religion. It's nature. It's God itself, the all that is. And my ideology and how I look at the world is each and every one of us chose a path, chose a contract, chose something to experience to bring us closer to ourselves. When you awaken and have the veil dropped and you start understanding what source God, the all that is, the infinite creator, whatever you want to label that entity, that energy, all of us find it in our own unique ways. It could be through a book, it could be through religion, it could be through a dream, it could be in nature, in a meditation, it could be in any facet that you chose to pick. And we got to respect that amongst everybody. Finding God within yourself and understanding how reality works is a damn gift. It's a burden that right in the now moment for many of us because no one wants to listen. science is getting very close to really merging spirituality, metaphysics with quantum, and it's slowly progressing, but we're not there yet as a society to say, well, it doesn't matter what religion you preach. Everybody around here looks at me like I'm the nut. And they're all very Catholic, Christian, going to church going people, and it's beautiful. That's what makes you kumbaya in your inside your heart space. How am I to judge you? But don't judge me. Had a pause again. Yay. How do we unfold heavy things in our lives? That you're still doing the work, that you're feeling it, but you're not absorbing it, that you're not being a cold person. And it's not an easy thing to navigate because I try to be heartfelt when I'm with, talking to my family about their health declining and my friends and all the things going on with her. It's heavy, heavy. And a lot of people feel like they're being punished and that they don't see it as an initiation. For me, I don't find it fun that people around me are getting spiritually attacked, that I have things trying to attach to me, things flying off of shelves, bullets flying through windows. Like that's some serious shit. Like, did I unconsciously draw that to me? Or is the universe trying to give me a hint and I'm just not getting it? And it might be that, but I don't get it. So how do we unravel the things that are going on in our lives? How do we sit back and go, okay, what was the meaning for this? And we can actually overdo that and let it rent space in our head for a long time. The answers don't come right away. For some, it may, but if it doesn't come, let it go. In time, you will figure the answers out. I sometimes fall into that loop. I do. I fall into the loop of why is this happening? Why is this continuously happening? Why am I in the same patterning? Okay, now I notice there's a patterning. Now, how do I get out of the patterning? What am I looping? What are the things that I'm not seeing? It's frustrating. As a spiritual person, it is frustrating when you see something that's repetitive with different obvious circumstances, and the lesson is not necessarily easily to be seen. Okay, so I understand the components of what happened. What is the universe trying to tell me? Do I need to move? I just moved. Here. Do I need to move again? Where am I moving? Where am I going? What the job opportunities, the finances are not there. So how am I doing this? Like practical, realistic. What is it trying to tell me? That divine has my back? I hope I knew that already. That I gotta be more careful with how I protect my energy? Sure, okay, check. But if you ask yourself those questions with your circumstances, they're not easy to answer, and it takes time to unfold. And sometimes you're never going to get the answers. You have to learn how to live with not getting the answers. This stuff is not an easy path to take. And the healing path is definitely a journey where, sure, you can go to a sound bath, you can go and get a massage, you can go and do hurts and eat clean and all that beautiful stuff that I'm not saying not to do. Absolutely do it. But it's the mental gymnastics that you do in your head that really makes the difference in the practices that you do for your body. going to a frequency bath is only fine-tuning your frequency in the now moment that you're doing it. And then if after you're back to negative Nancy land or thinking negatively, your that sound bath only did so much, but now you're back into a state of ye. Eh. Then what good it was doing it in the first place? If you're sitting there and using it purposefully, like the gong bath I did that integrated my shadow and my light, I'm integrating. But I understand that part of me that needed to be integrated. But before, why was I'm seeing myself as a Native American on the beach? And what was attached to me? Was it from the beach? I don't know. I can't answer that. Why is things flying off my shelves and all this other stuff? Do I need to know why? Not necessarily. Do I need to protect my energy better? Maybe. I don't know if it's that, but these are the questions you put into your field that once spoken out and say, hey, universe, I need some clarity. Can you help me? You might get your higher self to give you the answer eventually. Or something is going to spark an epiphany inside you. You hear something and it sparks your creative thinking. And you dig in a little deeper and you're like, oh, aha, I got it now. But you can't expect when that happens, if it happens. We have to have faith, and that is in this world not an easy thing to do. We've all been programmed. We've all went through these cycles. We're all initiated in some sense into some way. And it's up to you to take the reins of your life and stand in your empowerment. I'm being my authentic self right now. I don't care. I have fuzzies in my head. Doesn't bother me one bit. I don't care how babyish, infantile someone would call me or rip me apart. Doesn't matter to me. Do you matter to me? If you're going to talk and speak that way and project those things. We have to learn to stop judging. To stop judging and separating yourself from your other selves, which is everybody outside of your paradigm. That's everybody in your field of vision that you see every day. They're you, just playing different roles. Stop separating yourself from God, whether it be by religion, race, creed, social status, whatever it is. You're not going to take your shiny new Mercedes in the grave with you. Maybe you can be buried in it, but that thing is not going into spirit land with you. That watch, that ring, that gun, that piece of clothing, that stuffed animal isn't going with you in spirit. They're just here to fulfill its need. I create a whole ton of artwork and I hope that eventually, and a whole lot of books. I hope that eventually these books will be good. You know, obviously I like to reference back to them, but I've given a plethora of books in my lifetime away to help people. And it's not to change them, it's for them to see the lesson, the learning, the something to help them balance out. Some of the books up there is for escape or purposes only, just to get out of your own brain for a little bit and have a little story. That's a lot of the books on this side of the bookshelf. And these books are really like guide handbooks of guidance and and not everything do I align with either. when you find your authentic self and you can be silly and you can just be you in its fullest capacity without putting a mask on, without being the professional self, the husband, wife self, the girlfriend self, the this self, the that self, and you're just doing you no matter who you're around, you're going to speak, talk, and frequent you. You're not changing yourself or anybody unless you decide for yourself that you need a change, whether it be in the way you appear. I know for females, it's the makeup that you do or the things that you do. If for a man, it's a haircut, it's a beard trim, it's what is it? We hide behind so many masks because we feel the need to have to appease others, to fit in. And many of us were made to not fit in. We were made to break and be divergent. Break the matrix. Recode the shit. And we need more people to stand in their authority and take their power back. The healing component and the heavy density feelings that we're all experiencing to some capacity is what's being asked to be healed. Things to come to surface. And it stinks because a lot of it is out of your control. So what can you control is your reaction to it. I wish my cousin would get off the pharmaceutical stuff to calm him down because life is life. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm tired. I'm tired. A long day. Long day. A heavy day. Because I don't like to see my friends or family hurt or feeling hurt. But it's not if for knowing that it's the necessary journey for them for their soul growth is something I got to take a back seat to and just watch and be the person that can just be the shoulder for when they need somebody. There's no convincing somebody, yeah, like you can transcend, your animals transcend, they're going to become human and they're the next in the line and they're going to always be with you. Unless you know it for yourself, I can't convince you otherwise. I could just tell you how I feel about it and how I go about doing my healing and my thinking. I can't change you unless you're willing to change for yourself. We're still seeing CNN syndrome. I'm still seeing a ton of people on both sides politically attack each other. And yeah, sure, we're doing it again and we're doing everything twice. And the people that first lost their jobs and got banned and oh my God, you're this and you're that because you support something or you said something wrong. You lost your job, you lost your livelihood and any chance of getting someone to hire you. Which is in a contractual sense, you signed up for that experience and it sucks, but you're a lesson for a multitude of people to learn. That's what I call a mission spirit. And you might be like, oh my God, how bad did they speak about that guy at their job? Like I was saying on Janine's show earlier, you sign a contract to make and earn money. You go to work, and sure, within the work confines, there's a lot of BS that happens in every corporation, every company, every place that you are. There's always hearsay gossip, and there's always like injustices that happen and occur. It's how professional you deal with it. And especially when it comes to political stuff, when you're at your job, why, unless it is in political science or something that deals with politics, why is your opinion on what you want to do at home, who you want to vote for, anybody else's business but your own? When you're at work, when you're at home, you can laugh, scream, cry, be amused, whatever it is that you feel towards another person's death, transcension. That's you. If you feel like you hate that man burned a bridge and you were like, "Oh my God, finally." Uh, okay, cool. That's your opinion and you're entitled to have it. But be the adult and be mature about where you express yourself and how you're expressing yourself. I think a lot of people on one side that happen to be red that lost their jobs and stood up for their for me, I lost my job because I didn't take this and I stood my ground. I wasn't going to die and it would have definitely took me out. For others, it's just I am not into telling you a phrase line that you want to hear because your sensitive ears need to hear it. The people that are coming in and these things are happening to them and we're watching it unfold. We've watched it unfold years ago. They're here to change and make you pay attention to a bigger paradigm. They're giving you a catalyst. They're here to catalyze change for the masses. It's a lesson to learn. And I hope more people take that into consideration. Um, and that goes with even your personal self and the stuff that you're going through. How are you ripping somebody apart? Is there a third party that knows the unbiased truths? These are the things that we need to breathe and understand the mission and understand the lessons and the teachings that are being provided to us on a grander scale and on a microcosm scale. Another pause. You'll love these pauses I have. Current light body upgrades. Expect strong waves of energy upgrades this week. They focus on our higher chakras, crown and third eye, with the throat heavily involved too. Headaches, pressure, sinuses, throat, or lower back issues may arise. Truth and power issues too. But remember, every symptom is also a signal. The current cycles leave us hardly any pause, healing, clearing, upgrading. The good news, the more conscious work we bring in, the easier and lighter the cycles become. This is Aquarian healing, fast, relentless, brilliant, and we are made for it. And that is so damn true. And that is by Kai Nicola Werner. Uh, that's true. There's not like for me, it was like me Marine having a huge fallout and then the entity on the whatever bit the healer and then the pop toy flying and the bullet flying through the house and that it's a lot in one fun packed week. And then I'm supposed to expect to integrate it, understand it, and acknowledge it and go, okay, next. It's heavy. And I felt like this when my parents died. At least I knew for my own self, like I knew that their eventual transcension was going to take place. But like you don't even have time to think about mourning. You're planning funerals and doing all kinds of insanity. There's like no time for any of it because you're too busy pacifying everybody else that you're not directly doing anything for yourself. At least in my experience. I can't talk for anybody else, but I already buried two parents and a bunch of people. And I like to celebrate life. I'm not one to dwell on the ifs, ands, or buts because everything happens divinely in orchestration. Can't question it. I mean, we do as humans, but I mean, right now, the Schumann, if it wants to expand, we have some little spike doodles going on, but otherwise it's kind of chillaxing. But we're almost at a 7.99 frequencies currently where I'm 9:20 p.m. Central Time. It's high. So yeah, if you're going to get your headaches, it's going to be in the higher frequencies. If you're getting your integrations, it's happening when it's calm. The Schumann is calm. You get your light codes, you get your downloads, and then you start integrating it when things are calm because you got to have a resting period for your body to integrate it. And you're upgrading. But we're also being initiated. It's a lot. And yes, we signed up for this a lotness, but it's about navigating all of this energy. It's navigating the healing, and only you can be in control of that. It's up to you to embody what you are and to understand what you are out of an ego space and use it for your betterment. And the more of us that start shifting, and there is a lot of us now shifting, there is a lot happening outside of us, the external world, it's going poof, and everything is going poof. And us, we're like, fuck. And for the normal people, or people that are not as cognizant to these things, a lot of heavy, 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 heavy stuff is happening. And it's how do you navigate around not being a cold person to say, well, detach your feelings? That's not easy to do. It's easier said than done. It really is. It's easier said than done. It takes a lot of work to learn how to detach. It takes a lot of time to integrate concepts and stuff if only you heart align with it. But it's also about your body retraining your mind to think differently, to catalyze differently, to mindset differently, going through constant changes, going through constant cycles, looping out old shit. It's like, oh, here it is again. Okay, exit left. We got to get out that left. Bye. I love you from over there. Thank you for your purpose and your service. But now you got to go over there because my boundary's up. Goodbye. That's not easy to do. And a lot of us who are in the darker, they came in on the darker frequency in the wavelength, we've been initiated since we were born. Seeing things that were supposed to catalyze us, but it really just taught us to, okay, that's a demon. It's great. And it integrates in us, and we've been initiated throughout phases of our lives. And now we're at this head point, and our souls are really legitimately being ripped apart, and the higher self is standing in the side, in the middle, on the God path, going, okay, boy, it's Mortal Kombat within in your shadow and your light, and they got to come together and harmonize. That is taking time. That's taking time. And for me, what has been calming my energy down, what has been my saving grace in when I'm feeling overwhelmed and too vibratorily like I've been doing my artwork. Um I've been working, but you got to find the modality and you got to find what is going to calm your system down, not just your nervous system, but your mind and quiet you. Quieting your mind is just getting lost into something that you like to do that raises your frequency. It's things that, even if it's cleaning, whatever that is, be cognizant that you need to take some time to breathe, because this pulling apart is extremely uncomfortable, not just physically, because yes, I feel it physically, but I feel it energetically, and it's not fun. And it's not as bad because now I'm feeling that the hormone, but there's moments where I still feel this tug within me that I can't put to words really. I'm giving you my best description, but even at that, it's not 100% like descriptive enough. I know when I'm doing my oracle card readings, soul truth, the self-awareness deck is something that I pull a lot from myself. The affirmation cards with questions, asking you to question, answer these things honestly. Like, where are you not showing up for yourself? There's plenty of points in my life I'm not showing up for myself. There's many places in my life that I disempower myself. There's plenty of, things that have not come to fruition for me that I feel like, where did I go wrong? Or am I in a wrong spot or on the wrong path? Why have things not transpired for me? It gets frustrating after a while because I go out and do so for my half my life. I have strived to do the best that I can be, and it's never gotten me to a point where I can literally just coast and not worry about life. It's always been in survival mode. It's always been stress, 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 stress to put food on my table and to pay the bills. I don't want to live in that construct. I don't. But that's the reality that I'm living in the moment and now. We all have these things that we do acknowledge, but then how do we go about changing it? And you're going to pluck through a million different things until something works. And that's all I've been doing half my life is plucking through life, figuring out what is in my capacity to change, not just my mindset, but physically action. If you want action, you have to have a cause and effect. How do you have a cause and effect without motion? You need to put action into motion. Okay, so what action can I do and what's in my purview to do it? And that's where the limitations and separations of things come into play because it's not all given to you in 3D. And it gets frustrating for so many of us. I'm not alone. I only talk personal because I want people, I'm very, very oily out of nowhere. I want people to realize just because someone's spiritual doesn't mean that they have all the answers. I sure damn don't. And just because someone's reading out of a esoteric book does not necessarily make that the end all be all. Each and every one of us perceives reality differently. There are some people that have abilities to see my sleeping dragon. There are people that see things going on behind me that a lot of other people are like, what are these people? They're skitsy? No, they just see beyond the veil and you can't. But that doesn't make you any more or any less than them. Everybody has a unique frequency and a unique key to this universe. And it's up to you to unlock those abilities and unlock your amazement within you. But to profit off of it, to gain 1 million followers, that's not what my it's not where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I would love to not influence, a wrong word, inspire more people to do the work, to see reality different. I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to your heart. All I'm here to do is catalyze you. I want to be the frequency disruptor in your life to make you stop and pause and to think. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me or not disagree with me. I'm asking you to do your own thinking. And yeah, my opinions and my thoughts are uniquely to my soul's vibration. Your thoughts and your thinking is to your soul's vibration. And we all frequent similarly, but not exact. There is similarities within all of within all of our fields that we see very similar things and we feel very similar things and we project similar things. That's what makes us a soul tribe. And that's what makes where you're at, wherever you are in the world, and the people that are frequenting in your field, physically or not physically, that's what's bringing you together with those people. And there's no right or wrong, there's no above or below. As soon as you separate yourself, you're separating yourself from source. And I wish coming back to Janine's um talk on the podcast today, everybody finds God, the God within, the Christ consciousness, the spark of motivation, the epiphany, whatever it is. Everybody finds it in a different capacity, and we have to stop sitting there and judging people because they chose in their contract to experience a religion or something that you're not used to seeing or that you don't understand. And then you sit there and demonize it and make it, oh, it's satanic and it's this and it's that. Well, how do you, unless you, yeah, sure, you can read all the books in the world, but have you experienced it? You can't say all people, oh, that's what they believe, because how do you know? You don't. Just because somebody makes a labeled claim, they're Catholic, they're Hindu, they're Buddhist, they're vegan, they're whatever. I'm just giving you like stereotypes and classifications. If we stop doing that and stop limiting ourselves and separating ourselves, world would be a very different place. You would not point the fingers at people like, well, it's your race that did this and it's your people that did that. How do you think a large chunk of the world who are Muslim felt on 9/11? Oh, yay, we're getting blamed for something else again. Great. Now I have to fear my safety for years to come and degradation and judgment because a few people in my religion and in my area decided to do something stupid. And that's not even the case. My opinion. I'm looking at a bunch of beautiful souls and just a lot of ponderings going through my mind with the heavy frequencies and the densities happening. And there's no right or wrong answer to anything. It's just pondering how do we navigate other people and how do we navigate detachment and understanding the big picture, and but yet still experiencing the mourning, the grieving, the going through the human motions of emotions. How do we navigate that stuff while we're being initiated, while we're going through upgrades and letting go and releasing? It's definitely accelerating for many of us. We knew this was going to happen. I think we all came to that conclusion that this stuff has been spoken about for so long that when it finally happens, it's like, yeah, great. Um, I know I've read a lot behind me, and a lot of the spiritual stuff has said at some point this was going to happen. Not exactly. You never know how things are going to unfold for you personally, but as a collective, it's not necessarily spot on, but it's in the right direction with what it was trying to give you. Hey, do your healing now, get it over with. But that's a forever process. But it's coming to the consciousness of redefining and refining your thinking, your mindsets, learning how to master that pendulum, learning how to stop yourself in your tracks when something subconscious comes to mind or it's already projected. You don't, until something is out there, your subconscious let it out. Oops, it happens, you slip. But when you not acknowledge the slip, then you have the control to take it back or to let it go or to alchemize it. A lot of us are here to alchemize energy. A lot of us came down to play in the dark, to alchemize it to light. Us that are chosen for the chaos, chosen for the darkness, chosen to walk amongst it, to go through those experiences, to be in the heaviest, heaviest, heaviest of densities, but being a light being is not an easy task. And you can listen to the wisdom of the universe all day. I mean, it's starting to get a little repetitive, but I don't know anybody else that has spoken about that stuff in depth besides a few of us. And even at that, everybody's on their own journey, and how we are initiated is all different. So that person is using AI to go through their experience, which is phenomenal. But I hope that there are more people, including myself out there, that will go into the darker components and make it make sense, but in our own way. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. I don't. But a pondering, I guess. Questions for the ether. Just keep up the good work because we are seeing shifts. We are seeing energy spiking higher. I put it in some ears. I know some people did listen. Again, I think YouTube is messing with my channel. It's messing with a lot of people's channels right now. It's fine. But when I talk about an invention, I wanted to get out there because I really I don't need to be the recipient of anybody's commission or compassion. Like I'm like solidly wanting a piece of technology that can read your voltage, that can read your frequency. If I'm running at a 174 hertz, I would like to know that. If my brain is in theta state, that'd be great to know. But that's not, I mean, there's machines that read that, but only if you have a reason to get your brain read like that. If you have a traumatic brain injury or you had brain surgery or something along the lines that it needs to read your electrical currents going through your mind, Okay, cool. Then I understand why you would want that test. But there should be something at everybody's disposal to read. Oh, I want to be healing today and I want this hurts. Okay, I could put this machine on that everybody sells for five, $600, and I can receive that frequency from this device. But why can't the device read you? And yeah, there is scalar wave remote and stuff that can read your frequency to an extent, but it's not constant and it's not every day, and your wavelength shifts every second. 1 second I'm like, hi. Now I'm like at like 963. And then I'm like, oh, but and now I'm like at like three, whatever, 369. You know, I think a device would help us if we would know where we sit on a regular basis, where the ranges are, and make an average out of that. Then you know how to go and achieve higher and work with yourself in a more practical, humanistic way in terms of, okay, like I know when I'm painting, I'm in a meditative state, but where's my frequency at? Maybe I need to put some music on, or I need to do something different to elevate myself higher. Maybe I'm way too high and I need to come down lower to make it make sense. I don't know. But go listen to my live, The Craft and Sip. I there's some goodies in there that I think will help somebody out there make an invention that will help humanity. Ether, think it. But I'm going to leave it here, guys. I just wanted to do a short little pop on. Long day, just airing out what's been going on, especially around me, not necessarily to me. Navigating the energies, navigating how to go about your mindset. We need to just be here for each other and continue to support each other as best as possible. I know for myself, it's like that's another being pulled in many different arenas, and I need to be able to get time with myself to go through my own nonsense. And I get waves of like, okay, I could do this today. And then I get dumped on, which I'm fine with because they're my family and my best friend. So they can dump on me all day. But it's a lot of juggling work, and we just have to keep those things in the back of our head. The energy is the way it is because there's a lot of going on astronomically. There's a lot of energy going on, integration, purging. Somewhere in your soul, you knew this was going to be coming. You just don't know what it looked like and how to verbalize it. Just breathe. I know a big thing that helps me is asking myself questions and seeing how I can answer them. Going in self-inflection. These are things that are not easy because sometimes you don't want to confront it, or you don't know how to navigate around it, or you don't know how to answer the questions. But just thinking about it and just letting it be in that thought bubble empty, you have the thought and you thought it, and now the bubble formed, and you're like, okay, but I don't know how to answer it. Just let it go. The universe will give it back to you at some point. It's just hard to wait for some of us. Sending each and every one of you love, like a passion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within, be the shoulder, be the lighthouse, seize your truth, light that path forward. I have to find a new chapter in the Waspy that I haven't read. So we'll get there hopefully tomorrow. Today I got home late, and then I got a lot of phone calls and things and then it's picture day on Friday, so I was just figuring out little hairstyles to do and to look cute. so I don't look like a hot mess. I look retarded. Sorry, I don't like to use that word, but a Napoleon Dynamite picture. So please go within, heart align. This is the sign for God, by the way. This is spirit, I think, something like that. Um, go within. Know what's in here and let that steer you. And align from your crown, your heart, and your root. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. TikTok clips are going to be coming out very soon. That's another thing I have to work on is getting all those downloaded and then it takes a bit, but I'm going to work on that. And Quantum AI is going to come out, and I'm going to do another episode soon. There's a lot of good stuff coming out now that I'm catching. I will be live on Friday. Uh, yeah. So until the next one, guys, thank you for watching. Have a blessed and beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and bye for now.